for the playing of our national anthem. If you turn to the last page in your program is the alma mater, who are welcome to sing along with the class of 1995. Please be seated. Welcome, everyone, to the Peters Township High School commencement ceremonies for the class of 1995. It's a great day for our seniors, immediate and extended families, guests, and friends, gathered here to celebrate these young men and women's symbolic rite of passage into adulthood. However, in some ways, this is not a great day for some among us who are experiencing great difficulty for various reasons. I want everyone to focus on all that is good about this day. With this in mind, and in a true spirit of community, please, let's offer a resounding round of applause. Let them feel our support. Thank you. At this time, it is also with great pride that I recognize a group of guests of particular importance. These guests are the faculty and staff who have chosen to step forward and share this moment with their students. It's with great pleasure that I introduce to you and ask if they would rise and be recognized at this time, the faculty and staff of Peters Township Schools. Please rise. Another group of individuals most instrumental in developing our young people in our great school district are the Board of School Directors. At this time, will the members of the Board of School Directors rise and be recognized? Thank you. At this time, I would like to introduce our speakers. Our valedictorian, Ms. Kelly George, will speak first. Our salutatorian, Ms. Kelly George will speak second. President of the Student Council, Ms. Melissa Guna, will speak third. And President of our senior class, Ms. Catherine Leiker, will speak fourth. Our speakers.
If you would like, I would ask that you please bow your heads and join me. Dear Lord, I thank you for this day. I thank you for bringing our friends and family here safely. If it were not for your Lord, none of us would be here at all. You created each and every one of us. You already know our future and the plans you have in store for us. I know that you are with us as our senior year comes to a close. I thank you for the friends we have made, our supportive parents, and our great faculty. I thank you for the assurance you give us that if we trust in you, you will not leave us nor forsake us. Help us to remember that as we go on with our lives. In Jesus' name, amen. Good morning, fellow students, faculty, administration, friends, and especially our parents. Today, I would like to share with you a poem that hangs in our school's auxiliary gym. The first time that I read this poem was in 9th grade during a softball practice. Since then, it has served as a source of motivation for me throughout the many battles of life that I have met and overcome. Written by an anonymous source, this poem is entitled, The Battle of Life. In the battle of life, it is not the critic that counts, not the man who points out how the strong man stumbled or where the doer of the deed could have done better. The credit belongs to the man who is actually in the arena, whose face is marred by dust and blood and sweat, who strives valiantly, who errs and comes short again and again. There is no effort without error and shortcoming. Who does actually strive to do the deeds. Who knows the great enthusiasm, the great devotion, spends himself in a worthy cause. Who at best knows in the end the triumph of high achievement. And who at worst, if he fails, at least fails while daring greatly, so that his place shall never be with those cold and timid souls who have tasted neither victory nor defeat. We are the men and women in the arena. Throughout our lives, we have been faced with many battles and will continue to meet new challenges in the years to come. During our 4 years of high school, we have each experienced at least a brief episode in life's arena. Each of us has been through ups and downs. Some of us have hit higher, while others have hit lower. But all of us have, at one time or another, been placed in the middle of the game of life, where there are no timeouts, no substitutions, and the clock is always ticking. We must each realize that it is the players in this battle of life who are the most important. It is not the critic who counts. Time and time again, we will be criticized for how we do things, or for who we are, or for what we stand for. We will be told that we are not strong enough to do this. We're not tall enough to be that. We're not smart enough to achieve this. 1,000 times we will be told no, until all the no's become meaningless. But we must continue in our fight. Outsiders will stack things upon us until it seems as though we can no longer carry our load. It is at that point when we must become strongest. It is at that point when the world will be screaming no, and we will tell them yes. In the past 4 years of our high school career, we have all had an unforgettable experience. We have learned a great deal within our classes each day, but just as importantly, we have gained knowledge outside of PTHS. If I had the choice of doing it all over again, I would, because education is not just books and exams. Education is a social process. Education is life. Many highs and lows of these past 4 years have been an educational experience that is invaluable. Money could not buy the lessons that have taught us these intangible gifts. We have all been in the arena in many ways. Some of us have been told that we're not skilled enough to be a top athlete. Some have been told that we're not the right person to achieve certain goals. But many of us have learned from each one of these experiences. People have excluded some of us from certain activities. We felt the feeling of being lonely in a crowded place. But from those experiences, we have learned not to do that to other people. To make a conscious effort to ensure that the person standing beside us never feels lonely. Some of us have been doubted by many people. Us, we have learned to have faith in everyone. Many people don't have faith in themselves. We hope to give some of these people a starting place. Some of us also know how it feels to be hugged and cared about. Us, we take great lengths to place a hand on the shoulder of our comrades who need a lift or simply a warm smile to know that they are not alone. I only pray that each of you in today's arena have learned from your high school experiences as I have learned. We must understand the pain that critics place upon our young generation. From those tears, we must gain a unique understanding that I hope all of you will soon discover. You know the suffering that a critic can instill in each of us. Us, we must become determined to not become a critic of the men and women in the arena fighting the battle of life. As we set our future goals, I hope that each of us gives the man in the arena a special place in our hearts. We each understand the importance of fans. Our true fans, our parents, and our loved ones will always stand beside us, regardless of how we are being criticized, regardless of our failures, and regardless of our successes. As we embark upon our future paths, we will be faced by many more battles. Some will be easily overcome, but others will be more difficult. In each struggle, please remember that it takes attitude, not aptitude, to reach the altitude. We are at a crossroads in our life today. As we leave the gates of PTHS's arena, we are entering into a much greater arena, the arena of life. Critics will surround us, but it is not the critic that counts. It is you. You must have perseverance, dedication, and determination. With faith and hope, you can win any battle. Some failures are actually dissembled successes, or if some knowledge is gained from the mistakes or shortcomings, the effort was well spent. The only grave error in life is when we fail to realize that we have traveled down the wrong road. We have a choice as we leave today. You may take the high road or the low road. Whichever road you choose, proceed with all your heart and with all your efforts, for only the love of the game can make you a player. And by becoming a player, you have begun to succeed. Thank you.
In my opinion, our student body epitomizes a rainbow, where each color represents a special aspect of our class. Red represents our school colors, symbolizes the pride and spirit that we possess. As each of us has represented Peters Township in in our own ways and with our own groups. From athletic teams to the thespian troupe, we have worn red to display our unity and support of one another. Red appears throughout the school to remind us of our enthusiasm. It blankets our lockers, adorns the walls, decorates our dances and social events. Orange, the most vivid color in the rainbow, represents knowledge, for it is the foundation of our education. This knowledge stems from our strong academic efforts. We are very fortunate to have had the opportunity to be part of such a successful learning environment. We have the opportunity to learn about so many different subject areas, from woodworking to biology, from architecture to literature, from technology to home economics. We have all excelled in different areas, some of us in mathematics, some of us in English, some of us in industrial technology, and still others in the fine arts. But together, we create an array of knowledge which enhances our generation. Where some of us are weak, others are strong. Together, we compensate for one another to create a perfect whole. Yellow represents the sun. It shines through the dark clouds to add hope and cheerfulness to a gloomy day. Throughout my high school experiences, I have had the opportunity to see so many of my classmates turn a gloomy day to a bright and sunny afternoon. I feel honored to have witnessed so many of my peers lend an ear to listen or a shoulder to lean on. So many of you truly know how to comfort another in time of need. This is a special characteristic of our class because it tells those around us that our generation holds a unique love for life and a respect towards those who live and work around us. We are a hope for the future, a group of young individuals capable of cheering up our society by enhancing its liveliness. Green symbolizes the hope for the future that our class holds. We are a class overflowing with determination and perseverance. We have all set and achieved so many goals that we have established for ourselves. The common goal amongst us is achieving this diploma. Some of us have pursued special interests that have involved great sacrifice from ourselves and our families. Every one of our own individual goals is unique and important. It is a sense of great accomplishment to each and every one of us that we are all capable of achieving an end. Despite what that end may be, it is just as important for every one of us, as well as the next, to realize our potential to succeed. If our class epitomizes the society of our generation, we are in for a tremendously successful and fulfilling future. Success comes in so many ways for so many of us. However, one common denominator unites us all. We are all capable of that element of success. Blue represents the skies. Fellow classmates, the skies are your limits. Each of us has our own future endeavors. These quests are characteristic of our individual interests and tastes. For some of us, it may be college, while for others, it may be the military or a career. Despite these differences, each of our pots of gold serve to tie us all together. Without our common background and development here at Peters, we would be ill-equipped to take on the challenges that surely await us. Purple represents celebrations. In the fall, we enjoyed homecoming festivities. Just recently, we partook in our senior prom. These memories we will hold dear to our heart for years to come. Now we are celebrating this august event, our graduation. Our hard work and dedication has paid off. We have arrived at the next step in our journey into the future. Congratulations, class of 1995. You deserve to celebrate. We each have our own color that represents us. Together, we form a rainbow of vivid colors and characteristics that neatly fit together to create a beautiful gift from nature. No matter how big or small, how near or far your pot of gold may be, let each of us leave knowing that we have what it takes to succeed and meet our aspirations.
behalf of the class of 1995, I would like to welcome the members of the administration, the school board, 50-year graduates, and those families and friends present today to witness such a special event in our lives. I would also like to take this opportunity to say thank you. There are many people who have made so many sacrifices over the years, and without all of these efforts, we would not be here today. 4 years ago, when we started this journey together, we weren't quite sure what to expect. We entered these halls curious and uncertain, but as the days, the weeks, and the months rolled by, we began to understand this way of life. Things that were at one time new and different had now become routine. We realized that the high school is a place of constant change, whether it be changing your classes, changing your activities, or even changing your friends. As we began to grow and mature, we realized that the most important change is happening within us. Those who were at one time shy are now taking the lead. Tasks that seemed too much for us to handle are now taken care of with efficiency and ease. Our weakness of dependency on others is now turned into the strength of our individuality. This growth, not only academically, but also individually, is the goal that lies at the end of this 4-year journey. As a whole, I think the class of 1995 has, without a doubt, achieved that goal. We've come a long way in these past 4 years, and along the way, I believe that we have left a lasting impression. We've shown our individuality in our personal accomplishments, but we've also learned to work together to achieve a common goal. Many accomplishments have been made over the years, academically, in the arts, athletically, and in other special interests, and we should be proud of these. One of our biggest achievements is being celebrated today, our successful completion of 12 years of schooling. However, as the term commencement implies, this is just the beginning. It may be the end of the journey for us together, but we are now embarking on one of many future journeys of our own. Once again, the feeling of uncertainty and curiosity may be instilled within us, but we will again learn to understand and accept this new life of ours. Believe it or not, the cycle of individual growth is endless. We are just entering another phase of it. Even though this journey has ended and a new one is beginning, never forget the experiences we've had along the way. As always, we can enjoy the good times and learn from our mistakes. It's easy to look back on things because we know what we've already accomplished. It's looking ahead that's tough because the possibilities are endless. We must always reset our goals, and no matter how long or difficult the journey may seem, we must always look towards achieving these goals. Remember throughout life's journeys these words of wisdom. When things go wrong, as they sometimes will, and the road you're trudging seems all uphill, the funds are low, and the debts are high, you want to smile, but you have to sigh. Care is pressing you down a bit. Rest if you must, don't you quit. Life is strange with its twists and turns, as every one of us sometimes learns. And many a failure turns about when he might have won had he stuck it out. So don't give up though the pace seems slow. You may succeed with another blow. Success is failure turned inside out, a silver tint, the clouds of doubt. You may never know how close you are. It may be near when it seems so far. So stick to the fight when you're hardest hit. It's when things seem worse that you must not quit. As I said, our journey together has now come to an end. What a long, strange trip it's been. We've been through the ups and downs, and we have grown because of them. This trip has ended. The most exciting and fulfilling trip is to come. We will follow the paths we set for our lives. At the end, with confidence, we shall arrive. And for the best, we will always strive. For the future, for the class of 95. Thank you.
Good morning, everyone. This is a very special day, one that will be remembered forever by all who are present. My fellow seniors, This day will open the door to our futures. No matter where our lives may lead us, we will always have the memories from our high school years. Today we have with us 12 guests in the class of 1945. 50 years ago, these 12 people were in the same shoes we are today. The style of shoes, though, may have been a little different. Today they have returned to see us, the class of 1995, graduate. We should admire these 12 individuals as people with 50 years of wisdom and experience which we have yet to gain. They possess a greater knowledge of life that we can only hope to attain. On behalf of the senior class, I would like to thank the graduates of 1945 for returning to share this important day with us. To honor each of you, please stand as you are announced. Mrs. Helen Houston Angemir, Mr. John P. Angemir, Mrs. Marion Houston Angemir, Mrs. Regina M. Collery, Mr. Robert J. Chapman, Mrs. Vaughn Phillips Chapman, Mr. William A. Kelly, Mr. Louis Kachinik, Mr. Norman D. Phillips, Mr. Boyd C. Roach, Jr., Mrs. Louis Bell Rusi, and Mr. Robert J. Shooter. Once again, thank you for joining us today. Following graduation, there will be a tea in the cafeteria for the 1945 graduates and their families. We appreciate your presence and look forward to our own return in the year 2045.
It's now my highest honor as the principal of Peters Township High School to present to Mr. Hutchison and Dr. Urso the class of 1995. With this, I certify that each member of the graduating class of 1995 have successfully completed and fulfilled the requirements for graduation set forth by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania, the Board of School Directors of Peters Township High School. Mr. Hutchison and I will now present diplomas.
Mary Apple, Jennifer Dawn Aragoni, Carrie Ann Banaszak, Carrie Alexandra Barnes, Molly Barra, Krista Dawn Bauer, Stacy Lynn Bell, Carolyn May Beck, Natalie Marie Beck, Jocelyn Michelle Benson, L'Oreal Blash, Jeanette Marie Blosel, Vanessa Blight, Michelle Marie Bain, Kelly Ann Burtis, Rebecca Dawn Callan, Kathleen Judith Campbell, Melanie Christine Caudle, William Lincoln Adams III, Neil David Alexandrowitz, Daniel Michael Antonucci, Earl B. Arkin, Derek Brian Belts, Nathan John Bernosky. Terry C. Bollinger. Jonathan Palmer Bose II. J. Timothy Borowski. James Stanley Boyd. Michael David Breitinger. Heath Martin Broberg. Patrick Sherrick Byrne. Michael David Campbell III. Patrick M. Pauley. Jeffrey Thomas Chester. Jeffrey Aldrich Cristoforetti. Michael G. Caulfield. William B. Coppinger.
Jennifer Lynn Carenza. Caitlin Erin Craig. Jody Lynn Krim. Julie Elizabeth Cross. Jennifer Rose DeRora. Jennifer Rebecca Davis. Julie Elise Dixon. Melissa Alice Diamond. Courtney R. Dorfler. Jamie Dawn Dominic. Erin Kathleen Donaldson. Laura June Zuban. Lisa Marie Ferreri. Jacqueline Renee Fife. Kristen Marie Fisher. Michelle Marie Fletcher. Elizabeth Williams Fogarty. Trisha Lynn Frankenberry. Shannon Danelle Fulton. Mary Denise Gannon.
Philip Charles Croco. Matthew Staley Crow. Brandon Robert Daly. Christopher George Davis. Brian Clayford Dietrich. Alan Ross Driver. John James Dubbs Jr. Adam Monya Edwards. Sean Patrick Fraley. Derek John Fuchs. Eric Sean Fulton. John Stephen Gaffkey. Thomas Richard Gannon Jr. William Michael Gardner Jr. Kevin David Jenner. Michael Richard Gotch. Eric Grego. Jonathan Peter Growall. Jeremy W. Grosnick.
Marie F. Gardner. Megan Alyssa Gasser. Heather Ann George. Kelly Ann George. Carrie Ann George. Emily Carol Goring. Melissa Marie Guna. Allison Elaine Hager. Penny Sue Harris. Courtney Ellen Hartman. Megan Elizabeth Hemmick. Christine Ann Holcomb. Angela Marie Hughes. Tara Marie Engel. Christina Marie Eisinger. Jacqueline Lee Jonas. Jennifer Marie Jones. Melissa Ann Khalil, Angela Lee Kirshner, Tiffany Ann Kirshner.
Michael Edward Guna, Rory Matthew Handyside, Matthew Clayton Perrell, Benjamin David Janessi, Brian Arthur Jessup, Scott Andrew Jewett, Daniel Eric Johnson, Daniel Keith Kaminer, Charles James Keffer III, Thomas Edward Kennedy Jr., Michael James King, John Michael Kubik, Kevin Michael Kuntz, Edwin George Leach, Matthew Jason Legowski, Mark Douglas Lucas, Scott T. McTaggart, Kevin James Manning, Jason Alexander Marticelli.
Dana Ellen Kurtz. Mary Alice Klaus. Jennifer Jean Cook. Amy Lynn Kuhn. Cynthia Denise Kuhn. Sarah Elizabeth Kreiser. Angela Marie Kreck. Leah Marie Kabitsky. Melissa Elizabeth Lash. Catherine Ann Leiker. Krista Lynn Lepresti. Jennifer Lindsay Mallard. Maria Grace Marcacelli. Jamie Lynn May. Jennifer Lynn McGathick. Angela Marielle Miali. Liza Faxon Mahalski. Kelly Fawn Mitz. Allison Lee Molinaro. Melissa Ann Moriel.
Stephen Francis McCarran. Michael John McCormick. William Thomas McGinnis. Brent Roger McGow. Jason Andrew Vasenko. Andrew Joseph Novelli. Matthew Michael Fortuan. Jeffrey Edward Peterson. Neil Thomas Towns. Matthew Emil Robb. William Joseph Ramos. Michael J. Ramsey. Brian Christopher Reinhardt. Eric Lee Lindseyhausen. Jonathan Justin Salwich. Andrew L. Scarborough. Robert William Schaefer. John Leroy Schroeder IV. Adam Blair Schwartz. Garrett William Shanafeld.
Gretchen Ann Monroe. Stephanie Marie Nardine. Michelle Lee Nichols. Francesca Noack. Janice Lynn Odioso. Megan Elizabeth O'Malley. Rachel Michelle Tappa. Tracy Lynn Paxson. Michelle Marie Parmigiani. Melanie Ray Phillips. Jessica Ann Condon. Natalie Ann Redinger. Janie Marchetta Rose. Sarah Elizabeth Rock. Susan Marie Rolich. Kristen Fraser Ruther. Kimberly Joy Smith. Tara Jean Schmidt. Meredith Lynn Schuster. Kristen Michelle Smith.
Jeffrey A. Shorts. Joshua Thomas Smith. William Edward Speakman. Jeffrey William Stewart. Curtis W. Stock. Stephen L. Strubing. Jonathan Michael Stutzman. Andrew John Sinnott. Shane Michael Talon. Matthew Aaron Tosh. Theodore Joyce Taylor IV. William Anthony Tarrant Jr. J. Nathan Thompson. Gino Mario Torriero. Brian Allen Wallace. Matthew Todd Ware. John Michael Whitehead. David Ryan Wilson. Michael Edward Unosco. John Bradley Zook.
Shauna Joanne Smith. Valerie Lynn Solo. Michelle Marie Specka. Peggy Ellen Sumby. Tracy Rena Takka. Catherine Vanessa Tegley. Christine Marie Theroff. Mandy Marie Thomas. Heather Allison Thompson. Ashley Renee Tompkins. Lee Ann Cotty. Melissa Lynn Varakis. Kelly A. Bezzi. Lisa Christine Urea. Christy Lynn Whisker.
At this time, Mr. Hutchison and then Dr. Ursula will have some comments.
Difficult to follow the wisdom of those students when my generation should be the sages, and does people speak that kind of truth. You, the class of 95, will leave here somewhat changed. Things will be just a little different. You've already recognized You enter a different time in your life. Adulthood, call it. We're here today to celebrate commencement, commencing the beginning of something, beginning of a new thing. With that new thing, relationship with society, new freedom. Freedoms maybe you hadn't had in the past, being your own person as you gently take your rightful place among us. New freedoms can have with them the opportunities. And with those opportunities comes what the Danish theologian Kierkegaard called an angst, fear. Fear of the opportunity. For with each opportunity will come that knowledge that whatever you choose not to do something else. So as a young woman may choose a mate, she actually excludes everyone else. So as you go out, that fear will absorb you, possibly. Hopefully not. And I would give you a formula to avoid that fear or that angst of the unknown. It would basically be two axioms. Number one, always do what's right. Number two, never look back. You may say, I've not been taught that. Maybe we've been taught or heard a message that there are no real rights and wrongs, but I would encourage you to look and find them and to follow those things which are right. Samuel Johnson said the purpose of your education is that you might be an expert discerner of the right, the wrong, the genuine and the counterfeit. And then perhaps that same education would help you to prefer the good and to prefer the real as opposed to preferring the bad and the counterfeit. We hope that that's what your education does for you. The great Greek Plato also said similar when he said that education should make good people and good people should act noble. We hope for you that these things will take root that you have been taught, and that as you come back here 50 years from now and celebrate your return, that you might look back over your 50 years and be satisfied that in fact what you learned here and what you picked up here allowed you to live that good and that noble life. As Samuel Johnson had hoped for you, and as we as a board and administration and teachers hope for you, that you will be an expert discerner in the right, the wrong, the real, and the counterfeit. That when you return here 50 years from now, we'll have some appreciation for those of us who will then be gone, who have helped you become expert discerners. At the same time, you will take great satisfaction in having lived a noble life. So, to you, the class of 1995, I would encourage you to be alert, to be awake, to be outspoken, which might at this time seem to be an understatement. There are voices out there that would quiet you, but I would encourage you to speak. I would encourage you to follow that which is right and to never look back, and it will serve you well. So too, the class of 1995, I heartily thank you. I'm honored to be here, honored to be a part of what you all have done. I'm honored to be a part of this community, and I think I speak for the whole board in that we're honored to serve in this community. As ludicrous as it may sound to you, that might be sound of mine, but in accordance with an agreement that I have made, I believe I can wish to you that the stars would align profitably for you, that your aura would be positive, that you would be downright lucky in life. Personally, I think that from here on out, when I hear a true benediction or invocation, I will gently think of you, the class of 95. from and speaking for the Board of Directors, we do seriously wish you well, wish you happiness, wish you success, which may not be found in what you materially assemble or even being satisfied with those materials assembled, but that happiness that might be found in doing right and knowing you've done it. And may you be blessed in doing so. Thank you very much.
This has been a beautiful day. I must confess that I prayed last night for this beautiful day, but I can't say that. I have the distinct honor of being the final official to offer a few words to the graduates here today. As such, it is often the practice to provide some insight into the world that these graduates are about to embark, to offer some advice that will enable them to find some success in the future. This tradition of offering such advice reminds me of a 1967 movie about a brief period in the life of a young man shortly after graduating from college. In a scene depicting a graduation party honoring the graduate, one of the well-meaning party-goers whispers the word plastics in the ear of the graduate, implying that there's a profitable future in the plastics industry. I must humbly confess, however, that I cannot utter any such words of wisdom. Given the rapidly changing world, the advancements in knowledge explosion offered through an ever-changing landscape of technology, any attempt to propose insight would be a futile speculation that would even challenge Nostradamus. Regardless of what lies ahead, there will be, as there always have been, underlying responsibilities that you will face, irrespective of the unforeseen advancements that will greet you in the future. I will therefore only offer you two challenges today. The first of which is to be aware of the duplicity of technological advancements, discoveries, innovations, and yet to be revealed mysteries that will find its way into your future. This implies that there is, as there always was, a potential to create positive or negative results depending on the motives of the user. It is often difficult to sort this out. As an example, when early man first discovered that fire could be created and contained, there was soon the realization that there could be a positive and negative effects. Fire could be used for warmth, for light, or for food. Fire could also be used to destroy enemy villages. Recent Oklahoma City bombing could be cited as an example of irresponsible use of explosives. The paradox is that Alfred Nobel, credited with being the inventor of dynamite, was a pacifist who wielded his vast fortune to a foundation that honors individuals whose achievements benefit mankind, among which is a Nobel Peace Prize. We consider advancements such as genetic engineering, for example, as almost too staggering to imagine what might be positive and negative effects of application. This will surely test our ethical conscience. The second challenge is to master and not be mastered by our technology. Not merely be satisfied to have technology, advancements, and innovations solve our immediate problems. Properly used technology provides the potential to unveil questions that we never knew existed. We must be careful, however, that technology does not rob us of our creativity or ability to be resourceful. Therefore, travelers of the future, as you embark on the unknown, facing uncharted roadways, often devoid of speed limits, yellow lines, or directional signs, I challenge you to not leave your ethic compass behind, nor be tempted to take refuge in the first rest stop while the rest of the travelers pass you by. Know now and blaze some trails, but not burn the forest along the way. And so it is with pride and with the authority vested by the Commonwealth of Pennsylvania and the Peters Township Board of School Directors that we now confer upon you all the rights, privileges, and immunities hereunto appertaining to graduates of Peters Township High School. Congratulations.
Bill. Great speech. What time you have, Mike? About 5 minutes. Bob. Go, Rick. We were going to end it right here, but we're not going to. Be patient. Sure. Let's do it. All rise for the recessional.